Alright, hi guys. As promised, I'm going to post a couple of videos to the Wordpress Getting Started website showing you how to add a few modules to your web pages. So what we might start off with is adding some content to our About Us page. Okay, so I'm going to go to All Pages and About and click Edit. Now I want to make sure that the page builder is enabled, okay, which it is, that's great. At the moment, the only thing being shown on my About page is this, okay, it's got nothing really showing, and that's because the page builder is enabled, but it's got nothing added to it. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. I'm going to add a heading, I'm going to add a subtitle, I might add some placeholder text, and then maybe one of the cool modules that we've learned about. Okay, so before I was seeing this YouTube video, but we're not seeing that now because the page builder is enabled. Okay, so this is the About page. Just want to double check something. When I float over About, yep, the link is About. Okay, great. Alright, so I can leave that there, it's not doing any harm, okay? But we need to start building our page from scratch. So as discussed in class, we have a section which is black and this dark grey in the background. Inside the section we have rows, which is the white, and then we add our modules. Okay, so if you want a full width section or a full width row, we leave it like this. If you want to change it, we can do that. Or we might want to change it to 4 thin columns, 5 thin columns. It's completely up to you. Those options there are all you have, okay? But there's quite a few to choose from, obviously. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Add Module button. And I'm going to choose to add a special title. And this is going to be the very top of our page. So I'm going to change this from a heading 5 to a heading 1, or later on I might choose to add the background image at the top like we've been doing, and I might include a heading 1 up there. So just for now I might actually go with a heading 2 to be on the safe side. Okay, I'm going to leave title color and things like that alone for now. Let it have the default color. That looks like white, but until I put something in there it's probably just going to be black. Alright, so I haven't put a value in there. So clear. Okay, so let's have a look. We can add more media underneath our title if we want to, but typically we don't need to do that. We just need to choose our title name, and I'm going to put something like Welcome to Pony Cupcakes. Leave it as a heading 2. If I want to add a subtitle underneath it, I can, but we might do that in its own module. And I want to choose a separator type that has an icon. Then I can choose whatever icon I want. Okay, so just so it stands out, I'm going to choose something aggressive. Maybe a cool bike. Okay. Now if we want to use the default icon, which is a diamond, we can always tick that box. Icon color, as we've already determined our primary and secondary colors as part of the Oshine theme, I can leave that. I can afford to leave that. So really I haven't done much at all. I've come in, I've chosen the heading type, I've added the title, what it's going to say in other words, and I've chosen an icon. And I do want to enable a CSS animation because why not? We'll have something cool. Maybe slide in left, okay, just so it really stands out and you guys can see what's happening. I'm going to hit submit. And there you go. So it shows me, I can see what it looks like, which is handy. Okay, I could have chosen a larger icon, but we'll leave it for now. And immediately under that, I'm going to add, and I don't need a new row for this. I could add a new row, but I don't need to. I'm now going to add a special subtitle. And it can just say something like, "We are pleased to meet you." It's not overly important at this point. Font size 18 is very small. We'll go with 24. Leave the colour. Everything else can stay the same. Fade in animation's fine with me. And I'm going to hit submit. And that's it. Now our page is underway quite easily. Alright, that's why I love these page builders so much. Now, we might just save this and we'll have a look and see what we've got. I'm going to make sure I hit update when I'm finished with the page builder. Okay, I can add as many modules as I want without saving up here, but before I'm finished I need to make sure I update there. Okay, so now I'm going to go and have a look at the front end of the site. And I'll refresh this page. And there we see our heading and our subtitle, okay, or our special title and our subtitle. So that's all pretty good. Just refresh that. You can see the animation, it slides in from the left, okay, everything's great. We probably wouldn't have a reply, form on this page, but we'll get rid of that at some point. Okay, so let's go back in and have a look. What can we add now? Probably need a text block with some information in it. Okay, so let's just turn off this comments down here. Where is that? Okay, in discussion we want to disallow comments. Always leave trackbacks and pingbacks. We won't go into that now, but that's not going to cause us any problems. Okay, so look, I might add something simple like skill bars again, just because we've done it once, and it's a nice one to show you because it has modules within the module, okay, and it doesn't get much more complicated than that. It's still easy, and you're still going to find it easy to do, easy to add, but it's a good example. If I want to edit one of these, notice that they've got the title of what they are here, and I can see what they look like inside the white box. So that's one module, that's the top of the other module. If I need to edit one, I just carefully float over the icons and edit appropriately. Okay, so I could change what it says. Instead of welcome to Pony Cupcakes, I could change this to something else. Okay, and just hit submit. Okay, so let's add, just to show you, just to demonstrate how it works, I'm going to add a new row for this. Okay, and I might split this row into two. That's the main reason you would add new rows, because you want a different layout. You don't want a wide one column layout. You might want to change your layout. Okay, so I'm going to just choose a 50-50, sort of what's called half over here, and I'm going to add another module. And let's have a look for skills bars. Skills. Okay, we just hit submit. Everything's fine. That's great. You don't have to change anything in here. What we are going to spend more time looking at, though, is the individual skills bars as we add them. Okay, so I'm going to click in here. And skill name. Skill. I'm just going to call this skill description. Okay, you could come up with anything you wanted. The skill description here, and the colors can stay. You could play around with those, but as I've mentioned a few times, these colors are our primary and secondary colors we've already chosen. So I'm going to give out 90% score for this particular skill, and I need to add another one. So they're just called skill option there. Excuse me. Skill description 2, 80%. Submit. Alright, I'll only do 3. It looks cooler to have sort of 5 or 6, but this has shown you how to do it, and that's all I really wanted to do. Okay, so page builder saves automatically. I can click it anyway, but I don't really need to. And once again, update. Okay, so let's go and have a look at our page. Our comments section should have disappeared by now. Okay, so that's pretty cool. There's our skill descriptions showing up with their relevant percentages, our footer down here. So I'm reasonably happy with that. I may just add a little bit of a description over here to talk about us, however. Okay, so obviously I've filled in 1/2 or 1 column, so I'm going to come over and I'm going to add a text block to this section or to this row. So we've used a heading 2, so we'll make this a heading 3. And now you could add any textual information you want, anything that's relevant to us as a business here. I'm not going to go to that point. I'm just going to put in a heading and just a little bit of placeholder text there. We might add a button to the bottom. We might add a button to the bottom of this that says, you know, contact us now or see our products or something like that. So I'll do that now. Let's go up to buttons. Okay, buttons, little calls to action and buttons and things like that can be very useful for getting users to where you want to get them within your website. Okay, so I might call this see our product range. And I might include an arrow, so I can do a search for the icon I want. Okay, I type in arrow and I get a whole bunch of arrows. But I want an arrow facing right. That's a good one. Okay, I'm going to align this icon to the right as well. And as I've tried to explain a couple of times, when you're navigating to a page, because this button, when they click it, they're going to go to our products page to see our product range. You just need the backslash and that's all. You don't need anything else for the URL. You just need to put in any part of the URL that would come after our domain name. So WordPress just assumes the rest of the domain name for us. Okay, which is pretty helpful. If you ever move a website or anything like that, it's very helpful because you don't have to change a million URLs if you use this technique. Okay, so I don't want it to open in a new tab. I do want the button to be large. Button alignment, no, none's good. That will probably end up being left. We might choose left on purpose. Colors can stay the way they are for now, and what I might do is show you how to come back in and edit this to change it to look more suitable. Okay, so let's go for a sliding right this time. Okay, sliding's a bit of an aggressive animation, but it's good for this video because it shows you clearly what animations we've successfully added. Okay, so I'm going to save the page builder just to be on the safe side, and I'm going to update the page. And we'll have a look at it. And wow, that looks pretty good actually. That combination of animations looks quite alright. Okay, so we haven't really got a hover effect on our button, which is something that we may want to add. Okay, so we'll add that. Let's have a look. Okay, so as I've mentioned, if we want to try and edit one of our modules, we just float over until we see the icons, click on the edit icon, and here we can change the hover background colors. At the moment they've got nothing in them, that's why there was no hover effect. Okay. Now I'm going to try and make my button look like it has a white background and just a pink border. A white background with a pink border on hover. Okay, and the text color on hover can stay the way it is. Actually, the text color can be pink as well. So I'm going to copy this pink out of here, paste it into the hover text color, and the hover background color can be white. If you're ever unsure of the hexadecimal codes, just grab this round selector here and just drag it as far to the top left as you can and let go. Okay, so at the moment the background color is standard pink, the hover color is white, but for the button to be visible on hover with a white background, it needs a border. So I'm going to put a 2 pixel border width in. Notice I don't put the px for pixels, I just put 2. Now the border color is going to be this pink as well, so I should be able to just paste that in because it's the last thing I copied to the clipboard. And yeah, I think that's going to work. Let's have a look. Alright, there we go. That works quite well. Looks quite good. I do like the way these animations work together. I'm not normally a fan of too much aggression with animation, but it looks quite good. So what I'll show you now is just one more thing in that how we add a background image to the top and make our menu look transparent. And these are optional things. Obviously you can decide to go a different way. However, you will have the skills to make those choices and integrate the sort of appearance into this site that you're after. Okay, so we come down to what's called the header hero section, and we're going to choose to have an image video background. I want a transparent menu header. That means the bar that the navigation items sit within will not have any color. Okay. Now I'm going to use a dark image as my background, so I want to have a light color scheme. That means my menu buttons and my navigation at the top will have a light color. Okay, if I don't choose a custom height, it just means my background image will fill the whole screen. Might work better for the purpose of this demonstration if we just have that as about 500 pixels, but normally, or 500, normally in class we've been leaving that blank to take up the whole screen. Okay, so there's a couple more things down here we need to look at, but excuse me. First we need to choose our image. So obviously I'm going to choose something that I already have in here. This one here is 1800 by 1200. That one's, yeah, look, I'll just go for the large one now. I don't need to change anything because it's just a background image. Okay, so when you see it there, you know it's going in okay. This part's important, okay? Scrolling for your background attachment means that the background attachment moves as the page scrolls. We've been playing around with using a fixed attachment just because it has a bit more of a trendy sort of appeal, I think. You want no repeat for your background. That means it won't tile. Background position is for a non-tiling background that's supposed to take up the whole screen or the width of the screen. You always want center, and you want the image to occupy the container. That means it will fill the container from left to right or widthwise. Now, background overlay is important because if you need to make your image darker or lighter, which is usually the case, usually so you can see writing on top or whatever it is that you're going to put over the top of this image, you need to make it either light or dark. In fact, most often it's dark. So I'm going to choose black, drag my icon all the way down to the bottom right, and I'm going to say I want this to be 70% opaque. Alright, so we'll add our content in here in a minute, which will sit over the top of our background image, but I want to make sure that I've got a clear navigation bar at the top, that my buttons are light, that my image has gone in okay, and that my height is working. So I'm going to save the page builder, update the page, and we'll have a look. Okay, so that's pretty good, apart from one thing, which is there we go. So our navigation's there, and it's a light in colour, which is good. Our image is fixed, which means when I scroll down the page, the image stays still. Okay, that's the difference between fixed and scroll. Ignore this bar at the top. Because we're logged into WordPress, we sort of have to see that bar, but ordinarily it wouldn't be there. And we have our special title, we have our special subtitle, we have some information over here with a call to action, and some skills bars. Okay, so have a play around with the rest of the modules, see what sort of cool trendy looks you can achieve, and yeah, thank you for watching. I will post some more videos between now and the end of the course that you can refer back to in your own time. Yep, that's it. So look, that was pretty good. That didn't take much longer than 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it.